Hey gang, welcome back. I hope everybody's having a good day. It's done turned winter here again. It was down in the mid-30s this morning, maybe the low 30s this morning. But from what I've been reading a little bit here, that's getting close to the ideal time to collect this maple syrup. They claim you want it down around, I think it was the 40s, low mid-30s or something at night, and then to rise up warmer during the day. And that's what we're having and should be having hopefully the next few days. Y'all know the rustic caveman sent me these taps to use to try to collect some maple syrup. And I didn't know what all of them was the other day, but these are plastic taps also. So we've got a buku of them here that he sent us. You can get hoses to put on these to run it down to the ground. I don't have the hoses right now for it. So I think we're going to use these metal taps. And they come with a hook that goes on them. Now I've sterilized all of my stainless steel buckets. I've got a 2 gallon, a 1 gallon, a 4 gallon. And I've got a ceramic coated 2 gallon. We're going to take these up, drill some trees, see if we can get these to hang on the hook. If not, I may have to wire them on there. But anyway, I'm going to bring y'all along with me. We'll see what we can do. I don't know whether we'll get this video done today or if it'll take a few days. So I thought today would be a good day that we'd go up here. I know where some maple trees is. Some of the same ones that I tapped last year. Now, we didn't get any syrup last year or any maple sap or anything. We was later in the year, so I'm hoping by doing it now that we'll collect some. We need a drill bit, a 7/16 drill bit, and it says I need to drill anywhere between 2 inches to 2.5 inches into the tree. So I've already got a 7/16 drill bit here. I need to mark around 2.5 inches deep. I'm going to put this tape on there. That way I can tell when I get 2.5 inches deep. That should be an easy reference to see. All right, we'll head up there now and see what we can do. I also need to take some wire with me because I may have to wire these buckets on there. They may not hang on those little hooks. It's turned into a beautiful day. Sun's trying to burn through. Still a little cool, but it's been kind of cloudy and overcast all morning. There's Plumbers, the church up there that we go to some and have the singings at. If any of you have ever done this maple syrup tapping trees and stuff, leave it in the comments if you know any tricks or tips, things to look for. I read a little bit of the book that Chris sent me, and it was talking about the cold nights and the warm days makes for a good time. Now these trees that we're going to tap up here, some of them will probably be the same trees I tapped last year. And then some of them, it's probably been at least 2 years since we tapped them. I was reading in that book, because I've always wondered about when you take your tap out, what do you do? Do you try to plug that hole or what? And the book says to not plug the hole. Let the tree will heal itself. That if you plug it, you're putting foreign material in it, and that's not good for the tree. So when we remove these, we're not going to plug the holes. And I've been thinking on the drive down in here, there's probably some more maple trees on down in the holler from where I've been getting it at. I might look on down in there and try to find some new trees. But I know there's at least 5 down here that we can tap that's all pretty close together. And they're a decent sized tree. Right here's the first tree that we'll be getting it off of. And it's probably going to be the biggest tree. From what I've read, you want this on the south side. And if you've drilled it last year, you want to scoot over at least 4 inches, it said, and maybe 6 inches above or below, I think is what the book said. I didn't bring the book with me. But it says that you want to look for a root to put your tap up above, a big root system. I reckon that root is feeding the sap up and down, and you're more out to collect it there. So right here is where I drilled last year, I guess, or the year before one. There's a big set of roots right here. You can see a root coming down out into the ground. So I think we're going to follow that right up here and probably put our tap right in here. You can see the old tap down over here. So I think that's going to be our first place right there. Right along in here, I believe, is where we're going to try this at. And I need to angle this drill up just a little. We cleaned the hole out good. I really don't think it's flowing. From what I was reading in the book, it said that if it was flowing, that it would pretty much start dripping as soon as you got the hole drilled. But now that don't mean that it won't flow later. I don't think it means it anyway. So these taps, I'm using the metal tap. This little hook slides on here first. And then it said to use a hammer and tap it in up into the tree. Maybe that'll work right there. Now, like I had mentioned earlier, I bleached these out and I've rinsed them off 2 or 3 times. I don't really like this. I would rather have it up here like that, but I'm just afraid that lip won't hold. And we've got a lot of movement there. So I'm going to use it down here like this for right now. We may do different. This, I was just wanting to get them tapped because the weather I thought was right. Evidently it's not flowing good yet. But we'll catch it when it does. Now, we'll go around here and tap the rest of them. When I get through, we'll look at each one of them. This was my last one. It was really an extra one. I'm hoping it'll hold there like that. It's clean on the inside. I know it looks dirty out here, but that's just on the outside of the bottle. We'll take a look at them. I've got, I think, 5 out here. I'm a little disappointed there isn't any of them flowing. And from past experience, I have drilled into them and they'd be running pretty good. I'm thinking that they could start flowing anytime, even on up in the day. If I'm wrong, I'm sure some of y'all that's done it can leave it in the comments, but I have one question if anybody can answer it. So I've drilled these today, and if I don't collect any syrup for the next 2 or 3 days, what do I need to do? Do I need to pull these taps out? Or just leave the taps in there and keep checking on it every few days to see if it started flowing? I'm a little bit lost there on what to do, so if anybody can help me, I would appreciate it. This is my biggest bucket. A few years ago, this tree right here flowed real good. That's one reason I put the bigger bucket on it. That's the 4-gallon bucket. This one here is the next biggest tree that we've got tapped. It's probably a 16-inch tree, I guess, something similar to that anyway. But as you can see, there's nothing, no flow. So we'll keep an eye on this for a few days and see if we collect anything. Alright, it's been a few days has passed, and I've come up here to check on our syrup. Now it's rained and we had a lot of water in them, so I've dumped it out. And listen. It's flowing right now. This one's flowing pretty good, looks like to me. I just dumped it out. Right here's some ice that was in it. I probably could have boiled that, but I have no idea how much was rainwater in it also. So maybe we'll do all right. I'm gonna come and check it tomorrow. It's supposed to start snowing tomorrow night some, and I want to get it checked before then. Yeah, this one's flowing. Not hardly as good as that other one, but you can see how much it's got in it. And I have no idea how much of that is actually the maple syrup or how much of it's rain. So we're gonna just pour it out right here. And start over with it. If it'll keep flowing like that the rest of the day, we'll catch a right smart, and then maybe tomorrow too. All right, this is the next day from when we was here yesterday. We got snow supposed to be coming later, so I'm gonna take these buckets up. I'll show you what we collected over the night. This is our 2-gallon bucket. It's about half full. Between those two and this one, I've got about 2 gallons. Now this one here, you can see there's about 2 inches in it. It's froze solid, so I'll just carry this bucket home too. I've got one more right over there in the plastic jug. I'll get it and we'll see what we have. All right, here's what we wound up with. That's a 4-gallon bucket. So I believe we got around 3 gallons. I got just a little bit of trash in it, but we can strain that out with the cheesecloth. Now, let's head to the house. It's cold out here. All right, it's the next day, and we got the snow that they was talking about. We've got about 2 inches here. I can't believe it didn't stick to places better than what it did, because it has been pretty cold for several days. This video's gotten pretty long, and I don't like making real long videos. People just lose interest. We've got about 3.5 gallons of maple syrup, and I'm not going to boil it out in this video. I'm going to try my best to boil it and see what we wind up with. And when we do that, I'll give an update, and we'll see how much it turned out. And if I collect any more between now and then, I'll try to add that in the next video. But I'm going to get out here and have a snow day. Ain't nothing else to do, so probably ride the mule around and play a little while. But I thank y'all for watching. I pray God blesses you, and I'll see you in the next one. The clover's covered with snow.